What's up, everybody? My name is Damien, and this is Casualty Number 1 Gaming. Today we're going to be going over how to survive the Forever Winter and easy methods for collecting water. Check it out. Alright guys, so you've just started the Forever Winter, and you're trying to figure out how to survive. First thing you're probably going to see is a tutorial. I believe you have to kill 5 enemies and then extract. It's just a bare base bones tutorial. Then it's going to move you on to the innards, which is going to be this area right here. So upon getting here, you can go to each one of these areas and actually select them. I personally like to just press my escape button. Then I'll move on to where I need to move. So the first tab you have is your quests, which is a great place to get water. Almost every single mission here or quest gives you at least 1 day of water, some of them 2. But let's say you just started, you only have 1 quest, you don't really know what's going on here. You're going to have your regions tab. You're going to have your vendors, which you're not going to have as many vendors as I do right now. You unlock those through getting more water. You're going to have your character. And you're going to have your combat loadout here. So the main thing I want to tell you on this screen right here is going to be about your character. You have these prestige points here. So essentially the way that this works is as you gain XP from playing, which most of your XP is going to come from your loot, you're going to get points here. Now you can spend them inside of your character to unlock better stats or traits, right? You can get better accuracy, you can start using heavy rifles, grenade launchers, LMGs. It all depends on your character, but that's the gist. But eventually you're going to reach your max points, and your available limit to spend inside of the skills section is going to match that of what you have here available. So right now I'm going to unlock the next prestige. You see I have 3,400 left after upgrading all of this stuff. I'm gonna unlock next prestige right here, confirm, and I'm down to 0. But now I have an available of 20,900 points that I can spend, or experience that I can spend towards my skills as I get more experience. That's kind of how the progression system works here. Me personally, I go with the Masked Man. That's my go-to guy right there. You're going to be able to purchase, I believe, weapons from this vendor right here. The AK, RPK, and if I'm wrong, then it may be the other vendor right here who's going to have an M4 available. One of the most vital attachments in this game, in my personal opinion, is going to be the suppressor. If you don't have a suppressor, you will get swarmed. And on top of that, when we're talking about attachments, your attachments will not show, your sight will not show on your weapon unless you put it in the equipment slot too. Not too sure why that is. They haven't updated it yet. Game's still in alpha, so I can't really be mad about it, but that is how it works. So, for example, slot 2, you can see my sight, and typically speaking, whenever you put a sight on a weapon in slot 1, it doesn't work. That's from my own personal experience here. As you see, it's not working. It just shows a dot, doesn't show the sight. So you have to put it in your second slot for it to work appropriately. Following that, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get prepared for this next mission. I like to go in with a shotgun and an assault rifle. When you start out, you're going to have this shotgun and this rifle. Just try not to shoot anybody. Try not to shoot anybody because they are terrible weapons. You do not want to be caught dead with either of them. So we're gonna go down here. 545 ammo, wherever that may be. I guess all I have is surplus, so we'll just send it with the surplus ammo. It does a little bit less damage, but who cares, right? And then I'm gonna take some shotgun shells. Guys, do not forget, and I repeat, do not forget, I did on this run, and I'm sorry, it's a bad example. Do not forget to grab first aid of some sort. Okay, either of these works, and if you press 4 you will heal. If you press 3 you will cycle through your heals. Those are the standard key bindings. But do not forget to bring, I like to bring at least 3 of these guys, or at least 2 of these, but honestly I'll grab 2 of these and like 2 of these and I'll make it happen. As for your bag, your rigs, you're going to start out with the standard rig. Now there is a reinforcement that you can buy for a lower slot, much like the one that I have right here. There's a lower attachment point. You can buy better attachments, which will help negate damage. It has a small chance to. But generally you're gonna start out with this. You're not gonna have anything. It's kind of gonna suck. You're gonna be able to carry one big thing and like a handful of smaller items as soon as you can. It's $368,000. Try to get the equipment runner bag. That is gonna help tremendously with this bag right here. It's got multiple medium slots and then 3 big slots, so you can carry up to 3 large items. So medium slots and then 3 large items. I don't advise carrying 3 large items, and we'll get into that in our run. But you can do it. So now that we're ready here, once again, we're not going to worry about quests. We're going to go to regions, and I just want to show everybody my favorite region personally. It's going to be the Ashen Mesa right here. Whenever you change your entry point, City Ruins, this is my absolute go-to. And this part of the run, I'm going to kind of show you guys exactly how I get around. The goal here will be for every map. For right now, I'm going to show you this map here because it has water on it, and that's also part of this video, is showing you guys where the water's at. One other thing that I would like to show you guys before we set off here is going to be large items, tactical camera. If you are playing solo, this camera is going to be your best friend. It shows you where the enemies are near you, and you can still stay behind cover and see all of them. And I can kind of showcase that here in just a second. So I'm going to lower my countdown timer here because I don't like waiting 10 seconds. And we're going to go in. I'm going to solo queue it and just kind of give you guys a good rundown. All right, so we're in here. This is the City Ruins spawn. I don't have a good feeling. Once again, my personal favorite. And this game is absolutely beautiful. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna stand right here. I just want to run you guys down a couple things. C is going to be your crouch button. If you're crouching or standing and you strafe left and right and you press control, you're gonna do a quick little move, and that's while you're crouching too. Okay, so you can kind of get around a little quick with that. Now the reason I say to have suppressors here is because once you shoot an enemy, you are going to get absolutely swarmed, guys. If you want to change your view while you're aiming, if you don't want first person, you press Alt, you get like a nice little third person view. You cannot lean in this view, but I don't catch myself leaning too much either. So with large crowds of enemies, I will use this. Typically there's a lot of enemies around down there. One thing I want to tell you guys is if you see 2 factions of enemies fighting, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just walk on by, and hopefully I'll see that here so I can show you. They're worried about each other. They're not worried about you. If you think about it in this game, you are not the hero. You're just a scavenger, and that is exactly how it plays. So if you guys need to find out what kind of an enemy you're looking at, if you press Z while aiming at them, you'll ping them. It'll tell you exactly what you're looking at here. And generally, in most cases, I would say that you can just kind of sneak your way around. That is my advice to all of you. Sneak your way around, okay? I have this nice weapon as insurance. I'm gonna try to do this without really, without having to shoot too much. If I have to, I have to, but I don't want to. So this is my normal route, by the way. Whenever the eclipse is out, this does become more of like a zombie type vibe here. Instead of your normal traditional robots here, you get like the crawlers and whatnot, and these guys, that's about it. There's no mechs really going around causing chaos. And he sees me. Do what you gotta do. Alright. So if you guys did not have a suppressed weapon right there, you'd be absolutely swarmed. Right now they're gonna kind of try to find out where I'm at, but they have no clue. They have no clue, guys. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna look at this. I'm gonna press this. Now, in case you didn't know, there is a loot all button. You can press loot all, or you can go through each individual item. For purposes of this video, I'm just gonna press loot all. I don't know where all my ammo's at. Typically I have more ammo than this. Swore I grabbed ammo on my way out, but that's okay. That's okay, we're not trying to shoot. So typically what I'll do is try to go this way. Now keep in mind, guys, you want to go stealthy. I'm not giving the perfect example of this, but you can stealth through this game. You just have to be extremely patient. For purposes of this video, I don't really have a whole lot of time to do that unless you guys want to watch a very long video. But you just want to crouch around, be stealthy. If there's a bunch of enemies up here, you know, you say, hey Damien, I have the stock guns and I have no suppressors that I can put on them. What am I doing here? There's enemies up here. You can traditionally, like usually you can wait them out. You can wait out the enemies and kind of creep your way on by, just like I did right there. Look, see, no problem. If there's a large group walking around, just hide. Just go walk away, hide, get past them. Now that container over there, I'm not going to go for specifically because there's an enemy right next to it. This one I might. This one I might, because traditionally there's water right there, and there is. So you can melee, click your mouse button or V, however you wish to do it, and you can actually sneak up behind people and get loot that way too. So I always find water on this route, guys. So there's almost always 2 there. And if there's not, then there's usually some right up here where we're going to keep walking. And there's also explosives on this run, so there's a lot of money to be made if you're just trying to stack up cash quick. Just to kind of show off my attack camera here, if I hold Q, it's going to give me a good range of not only loot, but enemies. I can see just about everything that's going on here, guys. That's why it's such an OP attachment. And maybe OP is not the word, but it is very, very effective. Now this is the other spot they'll typically find water at, right here. That's an ammo bin. You can almost always find ammo right there. I don't think it's gonna let me cheese it. Don't think it's gonna let me cheese it, boys. Oh, fuck that guy. Loot all that shit. Still no ammo. Interesting. Alright, well, is what it is. And basically as a new player, guys, you just want to loot every little thing you can find. Cheap, not cheap, doesn't really matter. Loot everything, alright? It's going to make the most sense. Now, the reason earlier I was saying not to loot more than 1 large item is you will be followed by a hunter-killer. So once you pick up more than 1 item, and I believe this includes your friends, so if you pick up a large item and your friend picks up a large item, you will immediately be hunted. And the hunter-killer has your location at all times, and he will absolutely demolish you. Those are the explosives I was talking about. They almost always spawn right there. And I would grab the explosives just for the money, but for purposes of this video, I don't want to die. If you guys want to see a clip of a hunter killer, what happens whenever you catch one, I have a short on YouTube. Check it out. My friend did not make it. I did. I got lucky. I stunned him. He gave up. So yeah, you just want to move slow, be aware of your surroundings. Nothing too crazy. This is a super easy route. We literally walked down, made a right, followed the staircase all the way around, and then we made another right. And here we are. I'll drop down here. We don't have to crawl anymore if we don't want to. If it's not the zombies, right, or all the robots, I guess they're not technically zombies, then a lot of times there'll be a giant war happening right here. And you can absolutely watch out for that thing. You're not killing that thing. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Don't let it catch you. You can absolutely, though, completely run through all of this while everybody's having a shootout. They won't pay attention to you guys. They don't pay attention to you. If you actually take it slow, look at the game, they don't care about you. They care about who they're shooting at. So as long as you don't intervene, you can kind of follow behind and just kind of pick up the scraps, you know, which is exactly what you're supposed to do. That's what the game's meant to be. You are a scavenger. So we're gonna run down here. There's a grip of them running over there, and I don't have the ammo for that. I don't think they saw me. Now I always run to this exfil right here. By far the easiest. If you're getting shot at, it can be rough. I've had a lot of close calls, but on the same token, it's one way in, one way out, baby. So if it doesn't work out for you, you know, like, I don't know what to tell you. You know, you can run down here. If I have all these zombies, for example, chasing me, I can kind of help clear them out right here. I'm narrowing them down, you know, just bottlenecking them. So we're going to run on down here. What I like to do here is you can go this way, but there's always a bunch of these guys, these crawlers right here. So I just break off to the right and I just drop down over here, and there's almost no enemies here. You know, sometimes you'll see them on the stairs, whatever, but if there's just a couple in my way, I will wipe them out without hesitation. Without hesitation. I'm sorry I missed that. That was embarrassing. So yeah, if there's a couple of them on the stairs, like I said, I will wipe them out without hesitation, because the exit's right here. You know, you're not going very far. So if you got to mow a couple of them down, do what you got to do at that point. Do what you got to do. Just watch your back. Don't get stabbed. Keep turning around if they're chasing you. You know, obviously, you don't keep getting smacked in the back and just taking it, and heal up while you can.
Damn, close call. On a day of close calls.
Sweet. Now we're going to return to the innards. Now, I just want to tell you guys here, and I have seen this as proof, you can get 0 kills and get a lot of loot and get a lot of experience. You can get a lot of kills and get no loot and get almost no experience. So it's really about the loot, guys. Make sure you're looting. If you want to level up your characters, just grab anything and everything that you can, whether you want it or not. Doesn't matter. So we're going to go back to the innards here. And we're going to move all to stash. If you have gotcha boxes, I believe you can open them right here. They'll pop open. Move to stash is what I'm going to do. First thing I like to do so that I don't forget or accidentally sell it, especially because it has no value in the game, is I'll take my water and I'll move it over here. Now your water in this game constantly goes, whether you're playing the game or not, it goes down. And once it goes down, you lose everything. All scavengers die, loot will be lost, characters and experience will be kept. On the flip side of that, whenever you have, I believe it's over 16 water, you gain access to every single vendor. That being both of the weaponry vendors, which, by the way, as you sell things to these vendors and do quests for these vendors, you will gain some form of reputation, which is good. It changes your pricing and whatnot on what you're buying, and it also allows for you to buy more things. So going through here, if you're just starting, your weapons probably do not look like this. You probably don't have this many options. As well as your attachments, if you go through all attachments, you probably don't have this many options. That comes from building reputation with this person, and you unlock these people by having water. So if I run below 16 water, I believe the first thing I lose is my rigs, or it's my recruits, meaning you cannot purchase these rigs. Once again, the first rig that I suggest you buy is the equipment runner. You can carry a lot of stuff. The first one you'll unlock for free should be the gun runner. You can carry a lot of guns. That'll help fast track you to getting the equipment runner. But once you have the equipment runner, it's game over. You get all kinds of loot. You also have recruits. You can hire them to scavenge for you, shoot for you, depending on what you have available. Right now, I only have the scavenger one, but you can get some that have machine guns as your reputation goes up. Filter reputation level, as you see right there. And same with this guy, he gets more weapons as your reputation goes up, and same for this guy as well. All of them do. So as for the regions, I want everybody to explore them on their own. I started at Scorched Enclave. It's perfectly fine. Elephant Mausoleum, from what I remember, be very careful. There's a lot of doors and they make noise when you open them, so I'm sure you could put 2 and 2 together. Mech Trenches, it's in progress, but it's a very tight, close quarters type situation. It's harder to sneak around people. Not saying you can't, it's just harder to. The attachments in this game are a little different, and what I mean by that is, in order to attach a scope, for example, I have to have a specific upper assembly. Now I can attach a scope. That also goes the same for handguards on the M4s, using Picatinny rails and putting laser sights and flashlights on them, all of that good stuff. All that is revolved around your handrails. So your attachments really do make a difference in this game. It changes what you can attach, how much of something you can attach, etc., etc. And it also actually changes some of your stats. It'll change your accuracy and your stability as well. Now, I'm going to take a guess here and say accuracy is how much your bullets spread, whereas stability is more your recoil. But there's a lot of stuff that you can put on these guns. Once again, guys, it adds up. There's so much stuff that you can purchase in this game, so many attachments, and a lot of the stats aren't too different. A lot of them are even the same, but it's mostly for looks and attaching laser sights and stuff like that with your handrails, obviously. I would advise anybody to play with friends. There's nothing wrong with playing with friends. Sometimes playing with random people can turn around and bite you in the ass, and what I mean by that is if you have suppressed weapons and they don't, they start shooting, you are going to have an entire army after you, and it's something that is completely out of your hands, so be cautious with that. I still encourage people to go out, make friends. It's fun to play with random people. Even if you die and lose your stuff, just be cautious of what you're bringing out there if you don't know what your situation is. You can also come to this section right here and click manage innards, and what this allows you to do is purchase things that give you water. So at 500,000 credits, you get 20 days worth of water, 5 days, 1 day, etc., all for different prices. These are things that you can purchase at your own free will. You don't have to do it. It's just kind of a nice little boost if you have the cash. Most of your water is going to come from doing your missions. So what I suggest doing is find easy ones and completing them and claiming the water from it. And what I mean by that is, for example, destroy Europe and armed forces. You can very easily find out who your Europans are by clicking Z and pinging them. And once you've killed enough, you will eventually get a heavy machine gun, 1000 XP, 1 day of water, and +3 Eurasia faction rating. And this goes for all of them. Be very careful as to what factions you're helping. I would definitely pick one and stick to it. I've kind of been going all around, but as you can see, my trust is not consistent across the board either. Some of them still don't like me because I do missions for the other ones. So don't do that. Find what you like, stick to it, and I promise you, they're going to absolutely love you. You're going to get great deals and all the weapons you could want. And that's my crash course for the Forever Winter. Hopefully you guys learned something, learned some new mechanics, at the very least learned my run. If you're having a hard time with the game, send me a message on Discord, hit me up, and we will link up and I'll show you how to play the game just like someone showed me. Thank you for watching. Come back for more.